Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's video break. Psalm 42 verse 4 says, "These things I remember as I pour out my soul, how I used to go to the house of God under the protection of the Mighty One with shouts of joy and praise among the festive throng." You know, it's interesting that David, in his downcast state, in his place where his soul is longing, just like a deer for the streams and the places of nourishment. And so he knew that his soul was in this place, but he recalled. It's interesting how when you get in a place of discouragement, when you get in a place of despair, you can remember. The greatest thing I think God gives us sometimes is those memories where we can go back to and think, that was real, and this area that I'm in right now seems so real, but it's not our truest self. It's the self that's trying to overtake us. The truest self is the one that's continuously in this unity with God, this place where we're one, and it's this celebration is always happening. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking even today, if we can't enter into this place, into the tabernacle, can't run into our church buildings and be gathered with other people, we could still be gathered with God in a mighty way. Maybe you're in a place of illness where you're unable to come into the place. Maybe I don't know what your situation's like, but can you run in there, into that place of worship, no matter what? Start praising the Lord, regardless of what your soul is telling you. I know this is difficult. I've been there. I know it's hard. But start shouting out praises to God about the things that you can see, that you can recall, that you remember that are good. We all have something. We all have something around us. If you can't think of that something, look harder, look deeper. Let your soul go into a deep place where it's recognizing, the blessings, the handouts that God has given, because I think sometimes our soul gets downcast and discouraged because it desires more, it hungers more. And because of that state, we recognize the more of the presence of God, the more of the unity that we need, the more of the oneness that we need. And so sometimes I believe God allows us to go to that place to understand that our hunger can't be met any other way other than living in his presence, recognizing his presence, being in that oneness with him. So my friend, no matter where you're at right now, can you just take it, even if it's 10 seconds, I praise you, Lord, for, I thank you, God, for, and then shout it out. Be blessed, my friend.